Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. Today we have with us Coach Sara. Coach Sara, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Coach Sara. I'm an educator and an athletics coach. I've been coaching for almost more than 20 years. So I will not only focus on mainstream athletics, I'm also in the inclusiveness athletics. I am a master coach for athletics with World Athletics, and I'm also a USA track and field elite coach. With that, I'm also a para athletics coach, which I've experienced in VI, visual impairment, II, intellectual impairment, and autism. So it's a great pleasure to be with IC2 in this program to share my expertise.
Great, wow, Coach Sara, we certainly have a lot of experience in coaching athletics. Is this a full-time thing that you are doing?
It's not a full-time thing, but most of my time now I spend on coaching, same as the mainstream as the inclusiveness. I'm also an educator. I'm working with Singapore Examination Assessment Board. So I look after all the major exams in Singapore during the examination periods.
Wow, that's a lot to do. But let's come back to your athletics and the sports. What is your opinion about, getting young people to be involved in athletics and or in general, let's say sports and physical activities?
Okay, in general, starting with either it's kids or adults, everyone, uh, in a holistic picture, if you get into sports, you are really building up a good foundation for healthy living. And it also gives a very strong and powerful mindset when you are working with a lot of things out of your sports arena. So even if you are a studying uh, kids or a teenager or a working adult, sports give you the ability to have a very powerful mindset in order to work towards your goals. Not only in terms of mindsets, in physical preparations, it also improves a lot on your health and wellness.
Mm,
So it gives you a very healthy aspects of a life.
mm,
So coming from a holistic picture for kids, it is very important for kids to get involved in sports because it not only improves on their motor skills, it improves on their ability of their locomotor skills, as well as they improves a lot on their confidence level.
mm.
So a kid which is involved in sports builds a very good confidence level in him or herself, which helps in a very good teamwork environment if they are in a group environment, and they also learns the values which are respect, commitment, and there's a lot of values which they involve in the sports when the kids join sports. So to me, kids starting sports from a young age is not only in terms of a performance level, it's a value added in terms of their choice of mindset as well as confidence level, and it helps them in a very big picture.
Wow, there's so much children and even adults can gain from getting involved in sports and physical activities. So you mentioned, coach, that you don't just coach the mainstream children. You also coach, yeah, also a coach for special needs children and in particular visual impairment. Can you tell us a bit on how you get into this, working with children with visual impairment?
Um, I started working with visual impairment maybe 4 years ago. It's going to be 4 years. So first of all, I started giving presentation to a lot of organizations to get the program kick started because from how I get started was when I was in US, I see a lot of VI uh, kids being trained, and I do not see much in Singapore. Yes, I do, but all the most of the time they only go for long runs. So that was what in my observations in the 4 years ago. So I started want to develop this program. So after a lot of briefings to a lot of organizations, finally I was able to get into a very good organization with IC2 to give the support for us to start this program. And from the starting of the program, we have grown from a small scale to a much better, bigger scale now. And most importantly, for children to get into their sports, the parents must understand what is the need for sports. So most of the time, younger kids or some teenagers, they depend on their parents' approval to join a sport. So parents must be giving their full support to their kid in order to expose them to a sports uh, area which is very important to them, especially for the VI kid, because one example which also motivated me in the coming to the VI, to start of the VI, because I used to do teaching in a primary school. So there was a kid which is left alone. So being a relief teacher myself, I asked him, are you interested in playing a sport? He said, my parents say I cannot play sports. But the thing is, I'm a type of person, I believe sports is for all. So a person who's running, even he is partially visually impaired, I can just put a stick with him. I say, hold the stick. The rest are running. So I will just pull the stick. You just hold on to the stick. So the kid did not feel out of place. So from that day onward, this happened is around 6 years ago. So slowly from there, when I went overseas also, as I said earlier, I started to look out for more. Although I was in my master coach program, I asked a lot of experts there in the US track and field, which shared their knowledge on the visual impairment sports. Even until now, if I have any doubts or how I can improve, I still consult my mentors there. So from there, I started this program with the blessings of IC2. We grow this program over the years, and it has beneficial for a lot of our students.
Definitely, yeah. Thank you so much, Coach Sarah, with the program. But can I just check with you? How can we, let the parents know, how do we tell the parents that sports and physical activity is so important, especially for children with visual impairment? How do you think we can approach this with parents?
Most importantly, uh, parents with visual impairment kids, you have to strongly believe most of the time they feel themselves very dependable. You must make them feel very independent, and you must also share with them. Sometimes the parents have to share with the kids, or the kids' parent shares with the parents, that sports creates a lot of arena, not only in terms of performance, but their confidence level. Most importantly, visual impairment kids get involved in sports, and not to say theoretically, in my practical experience working with kids with IC2 over the 3 years, I've seen kids gaining more confidence in themselves, uh, and they try to do things which are more and much more than what they can really think of themselves. And parents, it is a very important thing to give the kids. Okay, I know most of the parents like to focus on academic foundations, but please play a part in their sports life, because sports is not only for their respective performance. As I say, it builds a lot and much more, rather than just confidence. It builds a teamwork. It creates a big foundation in their life. So if you say just in sports itself, sports can even be break down into a bigger thing. They can even doing strength and conditioning. They can even doing sprints, runs, jumps, throws. And for our IC2 kids, they have diversified themselves into multiple events when they initially took part in several competitions over the years, and they have improved, and they know where I can do much better and where I still have to do to build my strength in the respective events. So parents, please give your support to your kids, and let's build a very strong visual empowerment community with sports.
Thank you, Coach Sarah. Wow, there is actually a lot that parents should be aware of, that sports and physical activities can help their child. Um, like you said, not just building confidence, but so for a parent who's very new to this, let us say, how can they make that first step? What do you think they can do first for their child to get their child interested and wanting to go for sports events, or even participating in your sports program, athletics program as well? What's the first step parents can actually start with?
Okay, the very first step for parents to do is get in touch with IC2, or even if you get in touch with me, Coach Sara, I will refer you to IC2 because over the years, I'm very blessed to work with IC2 to build up the team. I don't believe it's a one-man army to build a group or community. It takes a bigger team or a village to build a community. And that we've said the first step for parents is don't be shy, don't be scared. Okay, feel free to approach us. You can contact us face to face, or through a call, or through an email. Just contact us directly to IC2, and taking that's the very first step you take towards getting your child into the sports program.
Hmm. Great, yeah, that's always the best way, because we can sort of pave the way for them to get in started in sports. So back to your line of work, where you coach both able-bodied as well as visually impaired children in athletics. Do you see a difference in the way you coach them, or do you do it the same way?
Obviously there is a difference.
Mm,
There is bound to have a difference because mainstream kids, as they grow up, there's a different platform or pathway we create for them for the progression and performance. Uh, and for a VI, a visual impairment group, you need to have a lot of patience because
mm,
I always believe patience rule the world. So you have the patience, you have to guide them step by step. uh, that is when they also learn, they also try to have the confidence to build the activities where they are trying to perform. So obviously there's a different coaching philosophy or an aspect towards visual impairment kids, but I always believe uh, what a mainstream kid can do uh, is not that the VI kids cannot do, is how you cater and modify the program to create the foundation for the VI kid to do the same. So it's on the way of how you structure your activities or your program to facilitate the group of participants. So obviously, as I say, there's two different coaching aspects, but the objectives are almost the same. So what we're trying to say is coaches who are working with visual impairment, you need to be more patient. You need to cater the activities or the so-called the performing task to their needs, and from there you build the step.
mm,
Step one, if they can clear step one, step two, step two, step three. So we progress as a ladder for them to achieve the objectives. If we say in the mainstream, you say straight away, you go for a sprint. Say, get into acceleration phase, okay, maintain and finish strong.
mm,
But if you're going for a visually impaired kid, you must teach them what is an acceleration phase,
mm,
how you build the acceleration phase. Then slowly is how you maintain your run and
mm.
how you finish it strong.
Wow.
So we have each and every three aspects. We build them even smaller for them to
Mm.
learn. So from that, I would really say there is two different ways of coaching the two groups.
Oh, right. Oh, that is really very informative for us. But I think one of the key concern that a lot of parents whose children with visual impairment they have is the safety of the child, doing a lot of, because they can't see and they're moving around so much. So what are the things, precautions that one can take, or other coaches can also take when working with visually impaired children, and also to assure the parents that actually it is safe for their child as well?
Okay, creating a safety environment is, I would say, majorly is due to the coach's preparation. So before we start with our session, usually we'll look out for any potential hazards or anything. So we create the environment for them. That is the very first thing for a coaching platform for inclusiveness. We create it for them, and from there we also usually you have to be there early to really start off everything, plan. If there's any debris or anything on the floor, we just clean it up. Or if we think it is unsafe, the environment, we shift to another environment.
Mm,
And the second thing is, in our program, we also have the parents, sometimes the helpers, the family members, joining them for their training. So in one way, we are also having the assurance that a family member always stays with them in order to, because sometimes having a teacher and a coach there to run the program with more, we are also having the kids to understand it much better. So it creates another safety aspect. So by creating that, parents, family members also get a chance to have a fitness life. So not only the kids, the parents also enjoy the fitness. Usually our programs, parents usually join in, or the family members join in. So it creates a double advantage of getting into our program.
mm,
So with that, our equipments also use. Coming to the equipments, we also try to have equipments which cater to the visual impairment kids, so that they are able to understand the equipments. If you're going to have just a ball and throw it to them, they will not able to have the sense of the ball. But if you're going to have a ball with a sound, or if you're going to have something that creates the vibration frequency for them, they will be able to know what they are doing. So most importantly, when VI kids they get into the program, I always like to find out things is what they really understand, what they are doing. So most importantly is when they do that, uh, we are also creating an aspect for themselves, coming from the coaches, the teachers, the parents. Now for the kids themselves, they know it whether it is safe or not safe.
mm.
So we cover all the three people who are involved in the sport to look after the sports as a very safety is everybody's responsibility.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. Wow, yeah, it certainly is safe that in that way, looking into the different aspects of it. So I think there's so much, that you can share with us, and also coaches who are interested in working with children with visual impairment. Maybe another day we'll invite you back to show us a bit more. But
Sure.
before we go, before I let you off, Coach Sarah, can you just give us maybe one or two examples of what kind of modifications you have used or would use in working with a child with visual impairment as compared to a able-bodied sighted child in athletics?
Okay, there's a lot of aspects.
Mm,
One of the very important aspect which I work with visually impairment is sometimes the kids have the so-called guide,
mm,
so to run with them. So what I modified is sometimes I create a long string,
mhm.
and to stay there, we started off with a 20-meter string, and now we are having almost close to a 60-meter string.
Wow.
So the kids are running almost a 60 meters,
Mm,
holding the string which is
mm,
attached, where they learn how to push and pull the strength of the string, and they
mm.
run in a straight line on a track. So
Wow. Wow.
it's a very big achievement, and we hope one day the kids are able to complete it the full 100 meters is themselves running in lane.
Wow.
So it's a very big achievement in this program we have started. We
Mm,
also started with kids learning how to do shot put. Uh, so they have improved themselves over the last few competitions. And sometimes kids, most importantly, although I was also coaching adults with VI for long jump and runs, so it's not easy. But currently we have a few kids who are able to do long jumps well. Okay, hearing from the coaches or the guides response, and they're able to take off and land safely for a long jump. So we have many more achievements in this program,
Mm.
and I think so when you join this program, you'll be able to know more.
Wow, cool. That's yeah, that's a lot, and taking into consideration the child's visual impairment, you were able to modify and adapt your training to suit them so that they are able to learn just as well. This is really fantastic. And the kids, they really enjoyed, their sessions with you. As you can see, a lot of them just keeps coming back, just keeps
Yeah.
coming back for more and more and more. Well, I guess this is a time that we have to chat with you, Coach Sarah, but we'll definitely have to call you back again for more sharing and more learning from you. And thank you very much, Coach. Have a good day.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, everyone.